Welcome to Whispers to a Bride, where we talk about the stuff no one else is talking about. We are going deep on the emotional aspects of getting married, the stress, drama, and turbulence that affects your own sense of identity and your closest relationships. We are talking about what it means to be a bride and how to navigate this sacred time with more grace and ease. I'm your host, Kara Gassabay. As a life coach and therapist, I'm going to be sharing super practical tips so that you can not only rise to the occasion of your wedding, but also your life. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. This is Whispers to a Bride. I am Kara Gassabay, and I am excited to be with you today and do something a little different. I really wanted to talk about poetry today. And it's so funny. I've been rediscovering my interest and love of poetry. I was super into it as a teenager. And then, sort of fell away from it a little bit in my adult life. And it's just been like calling at me lately. And I've been like pulling out old poetry books and getting some new ones that are amazing. I just got this new one called Salt. So good, so famous. I'm like obsessed. But I just think there's so many similarities between poetry and weddings. And I think that's why I'm attracted to both. There's this brevity and this like ethereal nature, this sort of like it's there and then it's gone concept of both poetry and of weddings that is so compelling to me. And within the like short-lived, sort of ephemeral nature of both weddings and poetry, you pack within there so much beauty and so much meaning. And I think that is what's like just so attractive and seductive about weddings and poetry. It's just, they're so tiny, but within them, they just hold so much. In my book that you guys have been so sweet about sending me messages and supporting it and love it, Whispers to a Bride, one of the opening pages, I decided to include this poem that really like has been just special to me and like always for some reason would come to mind around my business, probably because the word bride is in it, obviously, but also because I think it just encapsulates like why I think this work matters. And I don't know, it just kind of like says, right, the things that I clearly can't say. So without further ado, I am going to just recite this poem. It's a Mary Oliver poem called When Death Comes. And just listen to it, take it in, see what you feel. And yeah, just take a moment. I think poetry is also really good because it has that meditative quality where it takes us out of the normal narrative and mantras that are happening in our brain and like shakes it up a little and infuses it with a little more creativity and artistry and just throws us a little. And I think that is, weddings also throw us a little, but that is what's, again, so useful about it in a very practical way. And I think both weddings and poetry sort of get shunned and discarded a bit culturally because they do seem frivolous and extra and not useful. I think it's quite the opposite. I think like art and beauty is like inherently useful and we crave it and we want it and we deserve it. So let's begin. When death comes, like the hungry bear in autumn, when death comes and takes all the bright coins from his purse to buy me and snaps the purse shut. When death comes like the measlepox, when death comes like an iceberg between the shoulder blades. I want to step through the door full of curiosity, wondering, what is it going to be like, that cottage of darkness? And therefore, I look upon everything as a brotherhood and a sisterhood. And I look upon time as no more than an idea. And I consider eternity as another possibility. And I think of each life as a flower, as common as a field daisy and as singular, and each name a comfortable music in the mouth, tending, as all music does, toward silence. And each body a lion of courage, and something precious to the earth. When it's over, I want to say, all my life I was a bride married to amazement. I was the bridegroom taking the world into my arms. When it's over, I don't want to wonder if I have made my life something particular and real. I don't want to find myself sighing and frightened or full of argument. I don't want to end up simply having visited this world. Again, that's Mary Oliver's poem, When Death Comes, and it's at the beginning of my book. And I think you can feel inside of there the perspective that we all are invited to take, which is that like this whole thing ends. At some point, it's all finished. And when we look back, how do we want to feel? Do we want to feel like we just visited this world, or that we really stayed in that state of wonder? When she says a bride married to amazement, like, love that. And I think it's so important when you're in your bridal moment to stay in that. Be amazed that you found your person. Be amazed that you get to plan a party. Be amazed that you get to take part in this ritual that's gone on for thousands of years and probably will go on for thousands more. Be amazed how you look in your dress. Be amazed at the people who want to show up for you. Just staying in that amazement is such a great reorientation when the world wants to like take us out and get us spiraling and stressing about all of the superficial things. If you can stay in that place of wonder and amazement and have that perspective that like you're really inside your life and you're making the absolute most of it, so that when you look back, you'll just be proud of yourself. Again, not that you have to be some spectacular human who did all the things that no one has done before. It's like the daisy. You're just as ordinary, but also just as single and special. And that's the thing about your wedding. Like, you can have the wedding that is like so traditional and so basic, but it's yours. There's no other one that is like yours. So anyway, a lot in there. The whole idea of like funerals and weddings having this interesting relationship, I also feel like is really poignant, and why I chose this poem to open my book and set the tone. But also just, I feel like it's the reminder we need that we're creating a moment in your life that you will remember when you look back. This is one of the ones that's going to be in that timeline of your life, those snapshots. Like, your wedding day will probably be one of those days. And so don't take that as like pressure, but just take it in like the specialness and the sacredness and the depth of like how alive you are to take this risk and marry this person and join your life and make a promise and celebrate with your people and rise to the occasion of joy and love and family and celebration. So I will leave you with that. And if you are feeling any like inclination or scratch towards poetry at this point in your life, do it. Follow that instinct. I've been doing it. Again, my brain tells me it's sort of a waste of time, and then it never really is. So I am here for you if you need me. Of course, KaraMorning.com, book a call. We can go over anything that's happening in your bridal experience as you're leading up to your wedding or even after. And find me on Instagram, find me on TikTok. A lot's going on in that area. And of course, if you haven't yet, get this book. It also makes a great gift, Whispers to a Bride. I love you all and sending you nothing but bridal bliss.